Yeah.
All right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Aaron Moshley. We're beginning. Thank you. Welcome. If anyone is new here and just walking in, we are the Data Science Club. We focus on small projects, speakers, discussion, and workshops. We have speakers from a diverse set of fields, ranging from biology to finance to retailers and engineers, as well as mathematicians. Again, my name is Aaron. I am the treasurer of the club. I do finances and administration for the club. This is Michael, our president. Our officers are Hashem, Hannah, and Manny, who is there at the back. Hannah is currently in class and could not make it. Hashem heads the autonomous drone project, assisted by Manny. And Michael here is in charge of discussions and speakers. Our voting system is ranked choice voting, and we also do Rochambeau in the event of a tie. Our advisor is Dr. Fitz. We'd like to thank him for being our advisor. He is the head of the statistics department, so if you have any questions about mathematics or statistics, go ahead and ask him. I am now going to first throw it to Hashem. Actually, Dr. Fitz, how fast do you need to go?
Yeah, I need to go.
Okay, I'm going to throw it to Dr. Fitz first.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming. Good to see all these faces here. Some current students and former students, and I hope future students. I hope you come take a class with me. So I teach in statistics a lot of programming, R and Python, the data science, big data class. It's where you can learn kind of the base level foundational skills for all this data science. So one thing I want to tell you about is that we are developing a new statistics major in the math and statistics department. We don't have a statistics major, so it'll be on the books next year, hopefully. But yeah, if you ever want to talk about that, come see me, find me, or ping me on the Discord server or something, and I'll be at these meetings and happy to talk to you and meet with any of you. I just wanted to show you, so we're developing the statistics major. Who's heard of ChatGPT? Yeah, and so I'm having to write all these formal proposals and send them to the chancellor's office and all this stuff. And this is extremely difficult for me to do on my own. So I asked ChatGPT, I said, describe in several sentences how a new statistics BS degree fits, complements, augments, or extends the following mission. As California's capital university, Sacramento State transforms lives by preparing students to lead, serve, and succeed. And I'll just read you the first couple sentences of what it says. The introduction of a new Bachelor of Science degree in statistics at Sacramento State aligns seamlessly with the university's overarching mission to transform lives by equipping students to lead, serve, and thrive. This program not only offers students a specialized education in the critical field of data analysis and interpretation, but also enhances their ability to lead in the increasingly data-driven world. So this is ChatGPT, and it goes on like this, and it's all really good. And I showed it to all my colleagues in the math department, and they're like, oh, what? Like, none of us can write that well. So we're just using ChatGPT to generate our proposal. Not all of it, of course. Of course, it can't do it perfectly, but here and there where it can to fit in. Not that I'm encouraging you to use this for your classes or anything like that. Don't get the wrong idea here. It's cool to see where all this technology is going and how useful it's all becoming. So yeah, I hope to see you involved and at some events throughout the semester. So I got to run to a department meeting, but I'll see you all around.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Dr. Fitz.
All right. And Hashem, I think you had something to say as well?
Oh, yes, so about the drone project, again, Hashem is leading it.
Yes. So a bit on that. Welcome everyone to our very first meeting. For now, I'll be taking this section to talk a bit on the autonomous drone. As Dr. Fitz just showcased, the realm of AI, the realm of artificial intelligence is amazing. The applications of it are so wide, but also very successful. And in some cases, the performance of these intelligence agents, surpass that of a human being. Hence why, for this year, we want to try a small project, and that is, it hates me.
Oh, out of battery. Thank you, Event Services.
All right. Oh, that's one.
It's all right. Theater voice.
Yeah. Now, this is an example on why technology cannot be trusted. You cannot predict anything. Sometimes you'll be out of energy. Sometimes, I mean, technology is unpredictable. And that's why the human being remains superior, regardless. We still go this path to try to invent amazing inventions and to try amazing things, whether it's in artificial intelligence, data science, whatever field you try to implement somewhere. And that's why the Data Science Club, as an officer here, I think that it will be a good opportunity for you, and for me and for everyone else, to learn how to work with these models, to implement an autonomous drone with a very simple task in mind, and that is have the drone move from point A to point B, searching for C. If it finds C, it goes to C and it hovers there. Now, as simple as that may sound for a human being to do, remember, these machines are not that amazing. I mean, ChatGPT is great. It gave something not even the whole math department would be able to give you, but it also sometimes hallucinates. It will give you wrong info. And that happened. I'm sure some of you tried it, and I won't say an assignment, but it was assisting you in an assignment, and it gave you something wrong. And so, regardless, we'll go with this project in mind that although human being remains superior, we want to try new methods, new things, and think of it as a interesting experience to see how language models work, how AI works, how your Tesla works as a preview of it. And believe me, after this project, you will look at things differently. Every time you see an autonomous Tesla, you will think about AI differently. Every time you look at ChatGPT, you will look at it differently. These models may look fancy, but they're dumb. I'm sorry to tell you this. I mean, they're like ChatGPT is a smart parrot. A Tesla pilot is simply like a.
It's a baby.
Sorry?
It's a baby.
I wouldn't say baby. Yeah, if you punch a baby every single time it gets something wrong, I guess that's domestic abuse. But let's not go there. But yeah, I mean, he is right in a sense that even for a small autonomous agent, like a Tesla autonomous agent, you train by punishing it and rewarding, punishing it and rewarding. And if you think about it, it's very similar to the way a human being learns. If you see a baby walk into an oven and touches his hand, what do? I mean, the baby would, say, puts his hand away. And the same thing you would do. Ever since then, the baby will keep in mind that, hey, that pained me. I will never do that again. Even if the oven is cold, I want to stay near it. And that's an idea in artificial intelligence. We call it backpropagation. I will not go too much into it. But what it simply means is the model gives you a guess, and if it gets it wrong, you punish it. If it gets it right, you don't punish it. Or sometimes you reward it. I mean, it depends on the learning mechanism. And that's what we'll be trying to do. We're going to try to include all these principles, all these ideas in one project. And we might even go and write a paper on it if you wish. It's a nice thing to add on your resume. But also, again, going to the main idea, it's a new special experience for you guys to witness and see exactly how these fancy systems work. But yeah, any questions? Don't be shy. I won't buy this.
Out of curiosity, so how exactly are roles going to be divvied up? So is everyone going to get the same project, or is everyone going to be working on different sections of the project?
So the way in which this project is going to be done is the following. This is a joint project with the robotics club. So data science robotics club. Data science, if you can guess, is responsible for the AI and deep learning stuff, which I know some of you will ask, why is data science related to AI and deep learning? Well, that's a whole topic by itself. But the robotics team will be working on the hardware, and there will be a third team that will be connecting the hardware and the software together. Whatever your interest is, we'll keep that in mind. We don't care about your experience. If you have experience, that'll be great. If you don't have experience, what we ask of you is, wherever topic you seem interested in, you continue with it to the very end. You do your work, we will assign you to a team, we'll assign you to an objective, and we'll give you resources to study from and try to implement by a certain deadline. Again, it depends on where you are, what's your interest. We want, if you're in the data science club, that doesn't mean you want to work with hardware, or that doesn't mean that if you want to work with hardware, you can't. So just so you know, it depends on your interest. We're gonna show you documentation sometime later on, and exactly how we think this project will move on, and depending on your just hey, I'm interested in the hardware. I'm interested in how to connect the hardware and the software. I'm interested in the software. We'll divide the teams and divide the workload on accordance. Any questions? And as well. Okay. Yeah.
What type of robotic are we kind of doing? Are we doing like the matchbook mouse thing where they're trying to get through the maze, or are we talking about the robotics where we have to do certain tasks or something like that? What is our goal?
So for the autonomous drone project, as the name may imply, you're going to be using a drone, and the drone, depending on what it understands from its environment, will fly and look for an item, and it finds the item, it goes towards the item.
In this case, we're going to be having a orange Home Depot bucket, which
Yes.
we will have it land, or in my personal opinion, yeet itself into.
Let's not heat because safety
yeeting is
concerns.
fun.
Yeah, let's.
We'll have it land first and go faster from there.
So, yeah, yes, Moshe.
Nah, I was just stretching. I don't have
Oh,
a
okay.
question.
So we're
Sorry.
essentially making an attack drone, only it's
No, not an attack drone.
If we
Well-
can get some sponsorship from Aston Martin, maybe.
No. So the idea of this drone is, and I'm telling you, this is civilian purpose, 100%. There's no hitting things.
yeeting it.
No using so. Thank you. The idea is to mimic the reason why I chose an orange bucket from Home Depot is because it mimics a fire.
Mhm.
It can mimic a something that you may find suspicious. Like the other day, I was walking to campus. I saw a bag, and there was an officer who was. Yeah, you could. In this case, a good autonomous drone would be good to find these things. Or again, the orange bucket fire mimics a fire. It goes above the fire. It releases some kind of. There's these balls that you throw on fires, and it Yes. no, not incinerator.
So it's basically just a ball of carbon. So when it blasts at the fire, it explodes and releases a ton of carbon and carbon dioxide into the air, which suffocates the oxygen, effectively suffocating the fire.
Yeah, it kills the
Right.
fire. That's the idea. So in case I'll come in a second also. In case there's a fire, it goes above it and drops the ball, and from the heat, the ball will just turn off the fire using the chemicals inside of it. Now, these are just scenarios on what can happen if it succeeds in this very simple task, and that is release it to an environment, have it to able to stabilize itself, not hit into walls, not hit into people, and
said people. I said orange buckets.
or orange buckets, but remaining a safe distance, looking for the same item and moving towards that item. But yeah, that's I'll have to answer the question.
Yeah.
Yes, Moshe.
We also test out the drones to find any to find for any areas that people cannot go through, so that we could see what kind of suspicious activity there is.
So the idea of the autonomous drone is not to use a human being to do anything. The idea of it is to give it a general task, and yeah,
So we're under the impression that it is going to be a flying drone, not like a other form.
no, yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna be a flying drone. We move towards it. Yes, Moshe.
And hopefully the drone does not find anything that looks kind of bad.
Well-
because because what happens is that when a crime's committed, the scene would mostly be in areas where people do not walk in. So there could be anything like evidence such as a dead body or whatever.
So let's not get into the details. Remains an example of an application. So you achieve a task like finding a bucket and hovering above it. Then you look, what other task can I replace this with? In case fire repression, meaning that if a scene or if you're in a forest and your fire trucks cannot go there, and airplanes will take some time, then how about we send a hive of drones to go over that area, locate the fire, and drop these balls? Because again, that's an example in how you use it. The timeline we have up until the expo. Expo will be done in April, and we need a working prototype by that time.
So it's going to be a 2-semester project? Most likely.
If you can finish in one semester, that'll be very great. But if you do finish with a traditional architecture, we'll be moving on to the second phase, and that is doing a language model as an agent. There's a motivation for it, a good reasoning behind it. I won't discuss now because it's going to be a bit too detailed. But yeah, for the first phase, I think that's good. Yeah. So for the deadlines, we will look at how many people we have first. We need to establish how many people we have, and then we need to establish on faculty experience. I spoke with professors who have worked in these projects before, so we'll have them as advisors, and they can give us a realistic time frame on when we can get things done and what we can do. So, sorry, did that answer your question? Yes, thank you. About managing the team. So I'll be managing a team. We have an officer from the robotics club that will be managing the team. Sorry, yeah.
For a question about getting outside help, my sister's a Metatronics robotics engineer,
We'll look at help.
so she is allowed. I can bring her in.
Oh, absolutely. So for Sac State projects, Sac State meetings, we can have up to 20% of outside help. Because we are Sac State projects and we are Sac State sponsored, we have to have at least 80% Sac State participation in order to qualify for grants and for other financial issues, as well as insurance. So yeah, as long as it's under 20% people from outside, we can 100% bring on friends from other colleges, friends and family.
To answer your question on the teams, so I'll be managing a team. The robotics side will be managing a team. But again, if we find someone who has more expertise in the domain, hands-on or even theoretical, we'll give you a team to focus on some kind of topic on it to achieve. Again, we value experience when it comes to team leadership. If I find someone who has some kind of applied experience with AI, for example, he will take the lead. I'll be more than happy to step down and change the team lead. So answer your question, it depends on how many tasks we have, what's the amount of people are joining us, and who has more experiences in these objectives, and so we can divide the work on. But yeah, also you'll be given a throwdown on how everything works. I mean, that doesn't mean if you join robotics you won't get to know anything on how AI works. No, we'll teach you this stuff very quickly, sadly, but because of limited time. But yeah, does that answer your question? Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any other questions? Yes, mostly.
Is this like part of? Are you doing this as part of CM project, or is this very
No, this is complete. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I recognize that as you guys understood from ChatGPT, times have changed, and our students at Sac State must be preparing to how to work with AI. AI is not there to replace us, believe me, but it will mean that only those who know how to work with it will be the ones who succeed professionally in whatever field you're applying to. Because the applications of AI are quite general, you could go to the medical field and apply AI in it without any domain of knowledge of the medical field. I mean, you do have to do your due diligence, that's understandable, but you don't need to go to medical school 12 years to understand cancer cells, which someone in the faculty is actually going to do next semester.
And that's ultimately our goal. Our goal is to make it so everyone in every field at this school has a chance to learn about these kind of topics without needing to have a degree in data science. We are trying to give everyone here an opportunity, again, from any field, the opportunity to learn these subjects, so it makes you guys a better candidate when you guys get out into the job market.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Aaron. And also, another reason for that is because I want to show you guys is, you have a project in mind, speak it up. Sac State has the CSU system has a very traditional system. It's a not research-based system, which is understandable. We want to change that, and the way to change that is by the students. You can't change the curriculum because, I mean, it's quite complex, believe me. But yeah, we want to have students the ability to see these topics, learn about them, even though superficially, and come up with projects themselves. Maybe next year the clubs can take on different projects that would find a breakthrough. Maybe I don't know.
Sure. Varying relevance and subjects
Yeah.
and applications.
So, any questions?
All right.
Yes. How do you sign up for this?
We'll be making a Google form for it. We were originally doing a Discord form, but it kind of got messy to manage who is here and who is not. So I'm going to kindly ask everyone to scan and sign in. It should be a Google form when you guys sign in. It's going to ask for your CSUS email and your CSUS SSID. So this is going to allow us to track who is interested in the project or who is there. we'll send out an email asking which topics you guys are interested in. One of the topics on the email will be the autonomous drone project. Even if you signed up earlier, just do it now. I'd be grateful. I'll put up the QR code again at the end. And then using all of your SSIDs, I can then basically strong arm grants from the school to help us fund this project.
That's our yes.
Should we expect the email
I would say the end of next week, say Sunday next week. So let's say that's what day is that going to be?
That might be a
Sunday next week.
10th. I think it's gonna be on the 10th of September
Okay,
because the 15th is a Friday.
sounds good. All right. Any more questions for Hashem so Hashem can get to class?
Yes.
How are you gonna know who's committed or not? Because what if you start assigning tasks and then they disappear?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So
So-
that's part of working with a team. If you're not getting paid, I mean, you could expect it. That's a very good question. The way we're gonna deal with that is if someone doesn't show up, we're gonna kindly come up to them and ask them what's going on. That's human decency. But then if they're no longer interested or they feel like every time that we assign them a task and they get 2 strikes, we're discussing the strike system. If they get a couple of strikes, then we'll remove them from the project and we'll reassign new members.
And
But
alternatively, another idea is that if we have enough people interested in the project, we might split up into 2 teams and effectively have a pseudo competition. So if a member from one team drops out, then we'll have a backup of data or basically a backup model just in case so that we can continue working from there.
yeah, and another thing is that if someone drops out, our replacement, we will have to manage a replacement that will be expertise in the domain. Expertise in the domain, and that's the reason because we know that someone who's worked, let's say 50% and then drops out, whoever's going to take their place will have to know everything about the 50% they did and what's before that. And so if someone drops out in the middle of the project, we'll try to bring someone who's very experienced in the domain because it's going to be a bit unfair to the person for someone to take up that workload and extra stuff. Does that answer your question? Do you think it's unreasonable of a way to solve this issue?
I think that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, but you guys are gonna have to like come up with a better way to manage a lot of people. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Like like how we're doing the Google Docs on the server, that's not gonna work.
Yeah. We're aware. We're currently figuring it out. We're probably going to use something like Jira or Monday.com to schedule that kind of stuff. But for now, we need to figure out what we can and cannot do.
If you have any ideas, by the way,
Let us know.
let us know. Talk to us.
Okay.
Seriously.
And then you guys are also gonna have to like come up like, because we're definitely gonna have to meet up in person, right? Like,
Yes.
updates and stuff.
Yes.
Is this the official time?
We're probably going to extend to Tuesday for the drone project. So Tuesdays are probably going to be that, and then Thursdays are going to be general meetings and speeches.
So think about it on the drone. So because we have a deadline, which is April, there are some tasks where I expect people will be able to take home and do it, and that will be in the software team. They'll obviously do some things on via home late at night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., maybe any time they want, as long as they finish by the deadline. Now will be fine. I don't want you to take this project as an assignment or as a class. I want you to take this as a opportunity to apply your heart into something and do it full on through at home, if it's applicable, and sometimes we will have some kind of location where we'll have the equipment, and anyone when they sign in and they register because we don't want anyone to go in and cause havoc. To work on the project when they wish. Yes, Marcel.
Well, we gotta make sure we don't take too many sleep at 3 a.m. nighters because we're not gonna be ourselves. Trust me. When I woke up, I once actually overslept going to 1:35,
Yeah.
and thankfully it was a Zoom meeting, but I could have missed this
We'll
whole class.
we'll ask.
Yeah, it was an example. I work on stuff sometimes up to 3 a.m.
Yes, but Hashem, you're also crazy.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
But
Thank
hold
you.
on. So we had
Parcel
we had one more question in the back, and
Yeah.
then we'll move to the next.
Yes, so Dr. is one of them. We're gonna see the club advisors as well. So Dr. Fritz has statistical expertise, he's a department head, and he has worked on research before. I'm sure we'll have many members who are
experience in the field, but we also will look for alumni members.
Yes, sweet.
Or at least first week.
Yeah. But sorry,
I
one
think
last
that
thing.
was our last
Sorry, Moshe. But yeah, one last thing. So, other than these professors, we are open for relatives, friends who are expertise in the field to join in. We don't mind. This is not like a cutthroat competition where there is, it's a fun thing to do and to all learn from and learn about. Does someone have any other questions? That would be the last question, Moshe.
Yeah. Are you gonna bring back Kenta, Travis, and a few others who graduated at Jeff too?
So
They're out of state.
yeah, so background information.
Definitely state.
Those are the previous officers, and many of them had a good amount of experience in this field. Sadly, they have graduated. They have taken on their own lives, but I believe one of them or two of them are going to come back.
Travis will be speaking as a Big Brother head here on the projector
Big Brother.
sometime later. Almost everyone here is new, so you guys don't know Travis, unfortunately. He basically lives and breathes machine learning, and his end goal is to
Marry one.
yes. So he's currently a researcher at Johns Hopkins University. So he, like we said, is very passionate about the subject. So we'll definitely be asking him to come and talk and give some details. And speaking of speeches, we're going to throw it over to Michael real quick and give us a little detail about that.
Thank you.
Oh, right. Speakers. Yeah. Well, so first of all, tomorrow's Friday, guys. Made it through the first week. Yay! Awesome. Okay. So as far as speakers go, if you guys want to see anyone in particular from a particular industry, I know we've got a real mix of majors in the room, and so. Naturally, data science at this point does draw on a lot of people who aren't, comp sci or just engineer. We had some great speakers who I think I've mentioned before, a biomedical researcher with a startup, someone I think who graduated business, went into stats, and then another startup, and then list goes on, So, if you guys want to see anything in particular, just real quick as like a show of hands, just out of curiosity, who here is an engineer? Engineer? Okay, cool. Yeah. And then computer science people. Okay,
Wow.
a lot more than I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. And then do we have like any social studies, any design? Okay.
Well, I guess because
Yeah, design,
Arts and
yeah.
letters. Do we
Design,
have
yeah.
arts and letters? Okay.
We're
1,
STEAM
2,
here. We're
3,
STEAM. Yeah.
4. Okay, good.
Okay, cool. And then did I miss anything? Biomed? Any pre-med people?
Oh,
Okay,
less than last semester.
Maybe next time.
Okay. That's
yeah.
fine.
But in any case, it all applies. And we'll also, I think, be holding discussions to kind of approach the subject at a more conceptual level. We do talk a lot of tech here. We do talk, the technicals of it, as we were just kind of speaking about. And I'd be happy to go into that. But if we kind of want to work out sort of the framework by which we're going to try and view this, I think that might be a beneficial gain in perspective. They're just, even at a very entry level, sort of the GPT stuff, that I think that might be interesting to talk about. Does anyone have any topics right off the top that they might want to discuss? Like machine learning, or what is data science, or
The ethics of using AI in work.
sure, even we could go down the rabbit hole. I'm happy to talk about implications, not just next 10 years, but what it might look like day to day, next 50 years, next 100 years. Hard to predict, but very interesting to kind of think about.
Yeah, one question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like you to talk a little further on what you think data and AI, data science and AI might shape things 30 years from now.
Sure.
We can do
Sure.
that later.
There's actually a very interesting book I was reading that I might be able to draw from. And then, yes,
Current laws and events that revolve around AI.
Yes.
That is a good one.
I was just thinking about that. Current events. Yeah, good idea.
One more in the back.
Yeah.
Open source versus criteria like AI models.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
understanding where's the data coming from.
Nice. All right.
Anyone
Those are
else?
some good
Yes.
topics.
Yeah.
And if you like the idea of machine learning and like how to get
Resources of how to get into machine learning. That's good.
Absolutely. That.
And that's
Yeah.
the whole project of the autonomous drone. So hopefully you'll learn a little bit there, and we can definitely get some different resources for other topics in data science, such as data analytics, data engineering, artificial intelligence, and the like.
Yeah.
Grant, those are the big keywords, but it does stem a lot deeper than that.
I'd be happy to. I know Travis did a lot of demos last semester. I don't know if I'm going to quite do it in the same way, but
We can pull out workshops from the past.
yeah,
and
definitely.
teach you
Like
guys some of
there are
those.
some packages like in Python that are, I think, pretty like fundamental when you're trying to perform analysis. And another question: who here is most comfortable in like R language? No.
A
Okay.
few statisticians, nice.
Okay. What about like Python? Python people?
Yes.
Sort of, kind of. It's an easy one, so don't be afraid. And then anything deeper? C? Any C? Okay.
Cool.
And then who has no programming experience? None. Who's never
Okay.
even thought to program?
Nice.
Who's like in the middle? I have an idea.
I have some basic.
Sure.
But it's just
Okay.
not the ones that you mentioned.
It looks like we've got a pretty on each line of the scale. So I'll keep that in mind. And then, right. So another thing I want to get to, it was awesome to see so many people interested in the club. Very, very cool. Very excited about that. However, there is just a point of order that we need real quick that, so when folks are writing stuff down, we got IDs and we got phone numbers and we got them mixed up. So some people expressed that they were interested in getting text reminders. If that's something you're interested in, we can definitely arrange for that. But who here would like to have text reminders?
Okay. A few.
Yeah.
What about email reminders? Is that more popular?
preferable?
A lot more popular. Discord reminders?
Oh.
Anything other than the three that we mentioned? All right, cool. So we'll try to get that implemented. We're probably gonna use MailChimp or something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
And
And then did
we
we
can also just use a spoofing method.
did
and
we
just
do
spoof
the-
someone's phone number to email
Did-
everyone?
did we do the sign up thing?
We'll do that in a second.
Okay. for
Anything
sure.
else that you had?
Was there anything else?
I just pointed it to you.
Okay.
Okay.
When do you want to do the ice?
I can do my thing first.
Okay.
All right. So something I did not realize was the drone project was going to be 2 semesters long. I was told it was going to be done by December. So that does raise a bit of an interesting conundrum. There are other projects, but that does raise a conundrum for me because I'm only going to be here for 1 semester. In order to make sure that we have grant funding and insurance for the drone project, we need someone to also be treasurer for next semester. If anyone wants to shadow me and continue with that and have experience in organization and leadership, please come talk to me. We also would like someone, if anyone is interested in social media work, we also would like to have a social media organizer because social media is a very big part of our lives. A lot of people are on Instagram and TikTok where we are not currently there, which does hold us back from getting outreach. Again, our biggest goal is to get out to as many fields and as many interests as possible to demonstrate how data science can be integrated into the fields and how it works in those fields. And finally, finally we're going to end with, yes. Man.
You need somebody to build us a website.
We need
That
someone
might be
to
a
manage
project.
website. That would be great. Building it is something we can do. It's just the managing part is the most difficult. and so that's another thing we would also need. Though that would be an extra thing. So yeah, two roles. So website management and social media management. So yeah, we are going to end on 3 things: an icebreaker, hopefully everyone's signing in, and getting rid of all the pizza back there. Is there still pizza left?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so everyone look to your left. Everyone look to your right. All right. Introduce yourself to the ones around you. Say your name, your major, and an animal you would find interesting.
All right, I'm Marshall. I'm a computer science.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is Hannah. She is our last officer. She manages our server. So if you have any machine learning project that you're researching on your own and you need way too much RAM that you have no idea what to do with, we have a server to crunch numbers for you. Talk to Hannah. She'll help you out with that. Sorry, a lot of pressure on you. But she does an amazing job with what she does, the task she's giving, and I fully trust her with that task. All right, thank you. Again, make sure you sign in so we can ask or beg ASI to refund our pizza money. Thank you. All right.
Nice to meet you, Hannah.
Nice to meet you, Hannah.
I need that. All right. You guys can go back to the sessions. All right, let's end this one here. Thank you for whoever was here. No one's here at the moment, so goodbye.
What's your name? Where is it originated from?
It's in Africa.
Oh, cool.
Do you know which part of Africa?
Did we have